Good morning. Good morning. You were such a sweet girl. I know I slept really hard, didn't I? I know you were probably worried. It's okay though, I'm alright. Yeah. This is our morning routine. And this is an everyday deal for us. When I stir, she shows up, I get the full headbutt run, and then she settles for a little bit so that we can just hang out together. I think I have talked about it before, but little mama once upon a time was a stray. Somebody dumped her at my house, and she lived in my yard for 2 or 3 weeks. And I posted her photos everywhere. Talked to the Humane Society that I volunteered at, and the local animal control to see if anybody was looking for her, and nobody came forward to claim her, which was really kind of surprising because she's an incredibly sweet lady. And she was very trusting right from the beginning. And she was in great health. I mean, she was fat and sassy. She didn't have any major issues. So I was really kind of surprised and a little upset that somebody would let her go, I mean, I get bothered by anybody who dumps animals because, we're their everything. They're a part of our lives, but we're their whole life. And I mean, obviously I started feeding her and taking care of her and everything because I don't feel right about any animal going without food. One day I came home from work, and she met me at the door, and I stopped and talked to her just like every other day. And when I opened the door, she bolted into the house. And she has been with me ever since. She kind of looked at me and went, "This is my house now." I tell the joke that it's the cat distribution system at work. So, it is what it is. I mean, realistically, she's probably one of the sweetest cats that I've ever had. She's so incredibly loving. And she gets her name because she mamas everybody. She mamas me. She mamas Jinx. She mamas, visitors. Initially she'll run and hide from them, but after she gets a moment to realize that they mean her no harm, she's just, let me smother you with maternal attention, So I'm going to finish our cuddling, and then I'm going to get up and get my day started. Hi. So I'm waiting on my coffee to brew. Took me a little longer to get out of the bed than I planned. I got a phone call from my friend Nikki that I was supposed to go see the other day. She's a very young lady. She's in her 20s, and she's a brand new nurse. She's only got a year. And she called me very, very upset. She's had a lot of problems at a facility that she's working at with just all sorts of craziness. And she called me to try to get some clarity on the circumstances and what she should consider as options. And she was very upset, and she said, "I'm just so tired of people trying me. They treat me like a little girl." She said, I'm sick of all the nonsense and all this other stuff." And I told her, I said, "Well, that's not uncommon when you're brand new in. You're gonna get tested. They're going to talk down to you. And unfortunately, nursing is very much a mean girls club. And despite the fact that it should be a team sport, it ends up being solo play where everybody's playing against each other. She said, I wish I could be so much more like you. You're not bothered by stuff like this. I said, well, it took a lot of time for me to get that way. When I first started out in nursing, all the stuff like that bothered me. And I always felt like I had to prove myself. And I always felt like I was like swimming upstream, and with time and experience and developed confidence, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't care. You're not fixing to run me off. You're not fixing to make me question what I'm doing, especially if it's something that I know is doing right by the patient. And she told me by the end of it that she said, I am so, so glad that I called you and not my mom. She says, my mom is very doomsdayer, and she goes right to, the worst case scenario. And she tells me basically not to be a bitch. And I said, well, not trying to be ugly, but, on that last part, your mom is right. You do have to develop some backbone and be willing to advocate for yourself as much as you're willing to advocate for your patients. That's necessary. You don't, just because you work somewhere does not make you a doormat. You're not there to be walked on. Respect is not a uphill transaction only. It's unilateral. It goes both ways. There should be respect from top down and bottom up. That's just a fact. Because without your nurses staff, without your CNAs, the facility can't run. And the people that are in the office that are supposed to be the ones guiding this ship, they can't, as much as they might think that they want to, they don't have the capacity to pull them oars alone. So, I talked to her for probably about 30 minutes, and we talked about everything that has happened over the last several months that has caused her concern. And she said she's probably going to be looking for another job. And she said, but I don't want to do that. I want to be somewhere long term. I want to have my own place. And I told her, I said, you have to kind of look at this the same way that you look at everything. This is no different than relationships, than friendships, than all the other stuff in the great wide thing that we call life. I said, you kiss a lot of frogs before you find a prince. I said, you just haven't found your place yet. I said, and being brand new in a place, take me moving here, I'm new here, or being just new into this field, you're gonna have to go through a few different places before you find the right one for you. I said, not everybody is lucky enough to find their permanent place right out the gate. And she was just like, I never thought about that. She's like, I'm so, so glad that I called you. And at the end of it, we've made tentative plans to meet up next week to go have lunch and to get out and do some stuff and blow off some steam. And we're gonna go from here. I really genuinely like Nikki. She's a very, very nice girl, and I genuinely feel bad that she's stressed about just general human fuckery. And I've been where she's been at, and I really honestly wish that I had had somebody that I could have really reached out and talked to, other than my mom, that could have been like, hey, don't worry about this. It's not a big deal. You're going to be okay. You're going to find your way through it. And when you do, you're going to figure out where you need to be or what you're meant to do. And, I keep that in mind whenever I talk to her. Because I know how much it would have meant to me at her age, my coffee is done. So I'm fixing to go get that, and then I'm going to be doing some cleaning, and then I'm going to go do that thing that I have been not telling y'all about. Holy crap, look at my face. the pause has decided to show up on my face today. That's nice. Don't you hate it when crap like that happens? I've got some spot covers or something. I'm gonna have to put one on that at some point, I guess. So I'm gonna get off here. Catch up with you in a bit. So I got my days mixed up, and the mobile vet just showed up, and we got Jinx in and out in less than 10 minutes. She gave him a steroid shot to help with the itching situation that he's got going on. He's going to have to be on antibiotics for about a week as a preventative measure to make sure that he doesn't have or develop any sort of secondary infection problem. And then she recommended a different flea treatment than what I've been using. So I'm going to have to go on the mobile pharmacy website and order those. And aside from that, she said, aside from the skin thing, she said he's actually really not in bad shape. She said be prepared for him to be hungry, thirsty, and using the bathroom a lot because of the steroid. She says that's a pretty common thing. She said, so don't be alarmed. And I told her, I said, well, he's very food driven, so it won't be anything terribly far outside of his norm. So it's good to know that he doesn't have anything majorly wrong. She said it's just contact dermatitis. And, you know, I know with me it dawned on me after the fact that with me letting Romeo on the porch, he probably has a couple of fleas on him, and one of them or a few of them may have lingered on the porch and jumped on Jinx and bit Jinx, and Jinx apparently has a flea sensitivity. So here we are. I get to spray my porch down. I'm going to treat all of my carpets, my rugs inside the house just for good measure. Because I don't want him to be miserable in the slightest. And I mean, I've been flea treating them for years now, topical drops and stuff once a month, but she's made a recommendation for the other ones because she said they work a lot better, and they're a lot less harsh to the skin. So we're going to be changing that up. So I'm glad that we've got some relatively good news, and it's not going to be a real big problem to treat. The only trouble that I think I might have this week is we're giving him liquid amoxicillin, the pink bubblegum amoxicillin. I am hoping that I'm going to be able to work it into his food somehow. Otherwise, wrestling him to try to squirt this stuff down his throat is going to be a mess, but we're gonna get through it. And this is his current state. This is him telling me that he's mad at me. Look at that face. Are you mad at me, boo? Don't be mad, buddy. Don't be mad, baby. I know you don't like going into kennel. You're gonna be okay though. See, you're fine. Oh, the stink eye. Hey-ho, so I am out of the house. I'm fixing to go to our surprised, hinted thing. And then after that, I'm going to run some errands because, genius that I am, did not make a list of everything that I needed to take care of yesterday, so I forgot a couple of things. I got to go to the dollar store. I got to go to Walmart, and that will finish me out, and hopefully I won't have to fool with anything outside of the house for the rest of the week until I go to work. So yeah. Secondarily, I have accumulated all of the gift goodies for the care package that I want to send out, and I'm probably going to make a cutesy funny little commercial for it because I was thinking about it and it made me laugh, so I thought it might make you guys laugh too. So I'm gonna do that, And I'm just gonna try to enjoy the rest of my day, you know. So far, so good. Nothing major. You know, could definitely been worse. Have definitely lived through worse. So, hang in. I'm gonna show you where we're headed next. All right, gang. If you couldn't look at me and tell, I am in a jumpsuit. I have a helmet. I am in a rage room. Let's have some fun. Alexa.
The Funeral Portrait from Apple Music.
Look at my hair. The helmet on my head has got my hair standing up. I'm going to tell you guys, I took a shower before I left the house. I might as well not took one. I am sweating everywhere. And I have wore myself slap out. I did great, I think. And I feel so good. So good. It's like all of my stress is just gone. But I'm thirsty. And I'm a little winded. I went a little crazy,
and I think I overestimated my stamina a little bit, but it was worth it. Every second of it. I ended up pretty much expending everything within like 15 minutes, and I was booked up for a 30-minute session. And I actually, even though it may sound insane, I got a free chair out of the deal. They put this really beautiful chair in there for me to destroy, and I was like, the chair too? And they were like, yeah. I was like, no. I'm like, can I have the chair? I was like, that chair's too pretty to destroy it. And they were just like, well, you paid for it, so yeah, if you want the chair, you can have the chair. So I got the chair in the back of the truck. I'm going to another project that I don't need, but you know, whatever. So yeah, I had a good time. Hope you guys thought it was interesting. But I will say this: if you have the ability to find somewhere that you can do something like that, I would really recommend it. It was a good time, especially with the Alexa in the room, and you could pick your own music and all that stuff. And who you guys heard me playing was the people that I had listened to at the concert in Destin called The Funeral Portrait. They are very emo, they are rock, they are very gritty, and I absolutely love their music. The more that I get introduced and familiar with them, the more that I like it. So yeah, I have already talked to Nikki about coming back next week, and I will probably be videoing some of that for you guys once I work out actually getting her here, because that one has so much built up frustration and stress that I think it would do her a ton, and I mean a ton of good. So yeah, I'm fixing to go do my running around and get back to the house and just chill out a little bit, but I figured I would bring you guys with me on this little adventure. Hi, so I'm listening to Omegon on his Natterell Shithead video, and I finished up the chili. I'm just leaving it on to simmer. I thought I would just give you guys a peek. Right there it be. It's a little on the watery side, I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of how I prefer it. I like it more like a soup, but that's just me. But I ended up going a little crazy. I did my 5 beans like I normally do, but I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, black beans will be good too, so I threw a can of black beans in there. I've sauteed up that, browned up the bison, threw me some garlic in it, threw me an onion in there, sauteed that all up and threw that in there. So I'm going to leave it, let it simmer, and I'm hoping it will be good to go. Okay, so done. It's simmered for about an hour. I have thrown some Monterey Jack cheese on that and some sour cream. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them with this. So here we are. 18 grams of protein in the chips, and I'm looking at 46 grams of protein in the bowl. So, booyah, we're looking at almost 60, that puts us at 61 or 62 grams for this meal. Score. So that was my day today. Here I am post-editing. Obviously, again, we're not pulling no ALR foolishness in here and just cutting a video like that. It's been a good day. I really did enjoy the Rage Room experience. I found out that apparently they do annual passes so that you get like 12 visits. So if you want to go once a month, you can. If you want to go 12 days straight, you can. I will definitely be going back. I talked to my dad about it on the phone earlier this evening. He called to go over Christmas plans, and he was like, why would you want to do that? I said, because it's cheaper than therapy. He was like, well, if it works for you. And I was like, yeah. He said, I don't think that's my speed. He says, now me going in there and fixing shit after you've tore it apart, that's more my speed. The whole Christmas conversation, he's wanting me to come home, and I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth, I am really kind of dreading it. Since my dad has gotten remarried,
he has moved the new step monster into his house, and there has been a lot of renovation done, and I am sure a lot of things has changed. And yes, it was the house that I grew up in, but I have a feeling I'm gonna walk in there and it's not gonna feel like home. So I have a lot of hesitation, but I didn't go home for Thanksgiving, and I have a feeling if I don't go home for Christmas, then it will probably create a problem. And I really don't want to have to deal with that, but at the same time, I don't want to have to deal with disrupting my peace just because of what he wants from me. He made sure to go out of his way to tell me that the step monster bought me Christmas gifts, which is gonna be interesting because she doesn't know anything about me, other than, you know, what he's told her, which I can't wait to see how that plays out. Either way, I'm gonna be able to get to go and see my sister of the same name, and I'm really excited to see her because it's been a little bit. And I'm really excited to see my brother, and I mean, I am excited to see my dad, but the God's honest truth, I'm not entirely comfortable with the circumstances still, and having this woman in my mom's house cooking in her kitchen, I don't know how I'm going to deal with that or how I'm going to feel about it, you know. So I've got some serious soul searching to do between now and then, you know. But I'm tired. I am very tired. I wore myself out today, really. Even though it doesn't look like I did a lot, I mean, it was still enough to sap all my energy. You don't really realize exactly how much you expend when you're putting everything in for a time frame, you know. So I'm gonna head to bed. Hope you guys had as much fun watching this as I did making it, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.